Welcome back to Community Conversations. I'm your host, Steve Mantis, and my guest is Rick Atkinson, and we're talking about social responsibility. Now, I mentioned just before the break, Rick, that the committee has set up an award to recognize local folks. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, that was one of the other things that we decided to do, is that, the kind of work that people do in the community isn't always recognized, and in some ways there is some recognition of things, but just the down in the trenches work that people are doing doesn't get enough recognition. So we thought, well, why not just create an award that we could give to people that are nominated, and we can choose from a list of candidates, and so we named it the Ilka Vaska Award. Ilka was the president of our credit union for a number of years, and helped with a lot of our concepts about social responsibility, so we decided to honor him that way. And we invite anyone in the community who is aware of somebody who's doing good work, exemplary work in the area of social responsibility, and we don't restrict it very much at all. It's kind of wide open. Anything that you think fits the bill, then write up a nomination and tell us all about it and send it in to us. And we honor the person with an award at our annual meeting, and we also will make a cash donation of $500 in their name to the charity of their choice. So if somebody's working, like I think maybe it was last year, but we honored somebody who was working at the Dewdrop in Food Bank and Soup Kitchen, and obviously they want to help their own organization, so that's probably where the money went. But it is a way of honoring the good work that people are doing in the community, and we've been doing it for a while now, and we really enjoy that opportunity. We get some great nominations. I kind of wish we'd give a award to everybody that's nominated, because it's very hard to choose sometimes between them. But boy, and it makes you aware of all the people in the community that are doing all kinds of good things.
So we'll post something about that on the screen. Okay. So when do these nominations need to be made by?
Well, for the year, to have it available for our annual meeting, we need to close the nominations on September 30th.
Okay, so people have to get on this right now.
Yep. But it doesn't have to be anything, just to write it out and send in whatever, if there's a newspaper clipping or something else that supports your nomination, send us whatever you got, and let us know about the person.
And they can find out more on the internet, can they?
Absolutely. We're going to the website for baycreditunion.com.
baycreditunion.com, all one word.
Yep. Or contact our office, or come in and see us.
Super.
We'd be happy to help.
Super. So I understand that the work that you've been doing through the social responsibility has gained some national prominence.
Well, yes, it's true. I was invited to speak at a conference in PEI, on a national conference of credit unions, on the Social Responsibility Committee that we've set up here in Thunder Bay. And they were extremely receptive and very interested in it, and wanted to hear about the kinds of projects. And we brainstormed all kinds of things that a financial institution can do to assist somebody. And when you start thinking about it, for example, we talked about like women that are in abusive situations, that have to get out of their family situation and are often in shelters. What is one of their first needs, as well as addressing their medical and legal problems, but their financial situation? And maybe they have joint bank accounts, and maybe they have bank accounts that are no longer available to them, or whatever, and they need maybe to start up a whole new identification and bank account with a whole new system. And if a financial institution would meet with the executive director of a women's shelter or something, and say, how can we facilitate that? What can we do to make that a smooth process? Maybe we can have somebody in our office that's completely versed in all of the issues that are going to come up, and could address them for that person really quickly, and be available for them, and get it done fast. And there's all kinds of things like that. Like a lot of times people think social responsibility is just fundraising, and fundraising is important, and credit unions all over are totally involved in fundraising programs. I just had lunch the other day at Apple Credit Union. They had a barbecue to support the shelter house. And that's great. I mean, those kinds of things are very important and worthwhile in our community. But on the other hand, you can also do things directly. You can actually get your office to think about how, if for example, there's a group of people in the community who aren't getting the kinds of services that they should, how can you address it? How can you make it work? Can you meet with them and talk to them and ask them what their problem is and how you can address it? Get out there, deal with it.
So this is something that almost any organization of some size could do, really to look at how they do their own work and how can they really improve their community through the work they do on a regular basis from 9 to 5 or whatever their schedule is.
Absolutely. And another thing that we instituted was an auditing report. So once a year, the Social Responsibility Committee reports to the membership of our credit union on all of the activities during the year. Mm-hmm. And that's vital. That's the kind of thing that you don't always think about. And as I said to the national conference, it's if you don't take the time to figure out how to measure what you value, then you grow to value what you measure. Because if you're always thinking about, like for a credit union, if you're always saying, well, what's our asset size? And that's what you report about all the time, well, then that's what you value.
Right.
But if you start saying, well, what did we do this year to help people that are homeless? Or what did we do to help people that are, living in shelters or that kind of thing? Then that's what you value. If you measure it, then you and can report on it, then you grow to value that. So it's an important process to have that documented and measured. And
this is becoming more common in many organizations. I know in government departments and public services, is they call it performance management, mm-hmm. where you're measured on your performance.
Yeah.
But there's many things that go into your performance.
Yep.
So what are the things you're going to measure? Sometimes it's just the easiest things that it is to count.
Yeah.
But as you're saying, you need to lay out what are your values and then measure whether you're actually achieving real results in terms of those values.
Yeah, and as you're serving a very divergent community that's made up of all kinds of ethnic and other groups of people, and how well are you serving them all? Like, you should analyze that. You should mm-hmm. say, well, why don't we have more members that are from First Nations or things like that? And so why is that an issue? Like what can we do about that? Or is there something we need to do? Is there something about us that needs to be changed? Or and the best way to do that is to ask them what they think, and just talk.
Well, that's a good way to close really our interview. Our show is Community Conversations, and I'm so glad, Rick, to have you come in and talk about how you can expand that in your daily life, in your work life, to really have those conversations about how we can make this a better community.
One of the things is your show, and you do a great job.
Well,
thank you for all the work you do.
Our next show is going to have John Hannum. He's the city clerk. He's part of Thunder Bay Votes. We have a municipal election that's just kicking off here in Thunder Bay, and he's going to inform us a little bit about that and why it's important to get out and vote. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we look forward to your feedback, your comments, your suggestions. Contact us on Facebook, Community Conversations, and we hope to see you next week. Thanks so much.
That's what we all gotta say.